is the Voice of Turkey's English language transmission broadcasting from Ankara in the 49-meter band between 1830 and 1930 UTC on 5945 kHz to Europe, between 2030 and 2130 UTC in the 31-meter band on 9875 kHz to South Asia and Australia, between 2200 and 2300 UTC in the 31-meter band and on 9830 kHz to Europe, Eastern USA and Canada, and in the 25-meter band on 11660 kHz between 1630 and 1730 UTC to Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. The Voice of Turkey is also beamed between 0300 and 0400 UTC in the 41-meter band and on 7275 kHz to Europe, the USA, Eastern Canada and Cuba, between 0300 and 0400 UTC in the 49-meter band on 6165 kHz to Iraq, Syria, Iran and the Arabian Peninsula. You can listen to us over the Turksat 3A and 4A satellites and on the internet at www.trt.net.tr through the Voice of Turkey link. Please note that transmissions broadcast between 2200 and 2300 UTC and between 0300 and 0400 UTC have been pre-recorded. Our email address is englishdesk@trt.net.tr.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. This is Halil İbrahim Sarıkaya from Voice of Turkey. Today is 16th of September 2022. You are listening to the news. The 22nd meeting of heads of states of Shanghai Cooperation Organization started in the historical city of Samarkand, Uzbekistan. President of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, hosted the summit along with the Russian President Vladimir Putin, Chinese President Xi Jinping, President of Kazakhstan Kazım-Jomart Tokayev, President of Kyrgyzstan Sadir Japarov, President of Tajikistan Emomali Rahman, Prime Minister of Pakistan Shahbaz Sharif, Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi. From observer countries, President of Belarus Alexander Lukashenko, President of Mongolia Ukana Kuruleshov, President of Iran Ibrahim Raisi, and especially invited leaders President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President of Turkmenistan Serdar Berdimuhamedov, and President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev attended the meeting. Mirziyoyev welcomed the leaders of SCO member Russia, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Pakistan and India at the Congress Center. Afterwards, the leaders posed for a photo together before the summit. At the meeting, which started with the participation of the leaders of the SCO member countries, Mirziyoyev gave an opening speech and gave information about the agenda of the meeting. 30 different topics including economy, innovation, digital technologies, logistics, agriculture, medicine will be discussed. And at the end of the summit, the Samarkand Declaration will be signed. Ukrainian grain continues to flow through the Bosphorus as Russian complains about final destination. 5 more ships loaded with grain leave Ukrainian ports. Ukrainian Ministry of Defense issued a statement saying the transport of grains continue as planned. On Friday morning, 5 more ships left Ukrainian ports. Meanwhile, the United States State Department issued a written statement saying that thanks to the grain deal, the price of wheat around the world has dropped as 2.7 million metric tons of wheat has already been shipped to the global markets. On the other hand, Russia is critical of the final destination of the grain, asserting that the shipments are ending up in Europe instead of poor African countries. Russia has called on the European Union countries to publish data that will provide proof that the grains from Ukraine were in fact delivered to the poor countries. Spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Maria Zakharova, was speaking at a press conference whereupon a question about grain deal said, "Then let them publish a table. A simple picture can be made of how the ship arrived in Italy, how much grain it unloaded for Italy, and which other countries it went to. What could be easier? In order to achieve secure transportation of Ukrainian and Russian grain to world markets, an agreement labored by Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres was signed in Istanbul, Turkey, between Ukraine and Russia, two of the most important grain exporting countries of the world. Turkish Deputy Foreign Minister Sedat Önal, U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman, and Under Secretary of State for Political Affairs Victoria Nuland chaired the third U.S.-Turkey Strategic Mechanism dialogue in the capital Washington on Friday. The delegations discussed political developments in regions surrounding Turkey and highlighted the importance of fighting terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. The two delegations also explored possible avenues of cooperation in various parts of the world, including the Middle East and Africa, and underlined the importance of promoting peace in the South Caucasus. The American delegation welcomed Turkey's effort to broker the Istanbul Black Sea grain deal for safe passage of Ukrainian agriculture goods in the Black Sea. The participants welcomed the recent growth in their U.S.-Turkey bilateral trade relations and reconfirmed their mutual determinations to advance their economic cooperation in every possible field. They also stressed that the U.S. and Turkey stand together in support of global public health as well as food and energy security. The delegations also reaffirmed their mutual efforts to work to promote energy supply, access, efficiency, and independence. In other news, a joint statement by Turkey's Foreign Ministry and U.S. State Department said the two countries reaffirmed their strong cooperation as partners and NATO allies and engaged in substantive dialogue on strategic global and regional issues and areas of bilateral cooperation. 12 people died and 3 were injured as a result of the collapse of 2 houses due to heavy rains in the state of Uttar Pradesh, India. Uttar Pradesh State Minister Brijesh Pathak announced that 35 millimeters of precipitations fell in the state capital Lucknow in 24 hours, which falls under the category of heavy precipitation. Pathak noted that in the Hazratganj district of Lucknow, a very old and destructible house where workers were staying collapsed due to heavy rain, resulting in 9 deaths and 3 injuries. Prime Minister Pathak stated that 3 people lost their lives as a result of the collapse of a house in the town of Unnao, 40 kilometers southwest of Lucknow, stating that the electricity was cut off and hundreds of houses were flooded in the region. Pathak stated that schools in Lucknow will be closed today. Monsoon rains, which are effective from June-September in South Asia, cause large-scale natural disasters and accidents every year, especially in India. Chilean President Gabriel Boric refused to receive the credentials of Israeli ambassador to Chile, Gil Arzieli, on Thursday, according to Chilean media. The ex-ante news outlet reported that the decision was made due to death of children in Operation Breaking Down in Gaza Strip in early August, and that ambassador's credentials will be accepted in mid-October. The La Tercera newspaper said that the decision was made due to the recent death of Palestinian teenagers in the firefight in the West Bank. UN hopes that Armenia-Azerbaijan truce holds. The United Nations welcomed on Thursday a ceasefire announced between Armenia and Azerbaijan after 2 days of violence linked to decades-old dispute between the former Soviet states over the territory of Upper Karabakh. A UN Security Council emergency meeting was convened on Thursday with the maintenance of international peace and security as the subject. Participants discussed clashes between Azerbaijan and Armenia, which were halted with a ceasefire 2 days ago. The UN Assistant Secretary General for Europe, Central Asia and Americas, Miroslav Zenja, said they welcomed the truce, adding, "We hope the ceasefire will hold." The fighting, which each side blamed on the other, left more than 170 soldiers dead and threatened to drag Turkey, Azerbaijan's key backer, and Armenia ally Russia into wider conflict at a time of already high geopolitical tensions. Zenja said it was also a stark reminder that the tensions between the two also have the potential to destabilize the region. They highlight the need for all actors in the region and beyond to act constructively and to press the sides to work for a peaceful settlement. Azerbaijan Defense Ministry announced a few days ago that the Armenian army carried out a series of provocations on the night of September 12 and in the early hours of September 13 in the Daskestan, Keljeber, Lachin, and Zenglan areas. The Azerbaijani Defense Ministry said 71 Azerbaijani troops were killed, while Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan said 105 Armenian troops were killed in the clashes.